Hey Trent, how you doing?
Hey, Trevor, how you doing?
I'm doing well. I'm digging the shirt.
Yeah,
Tell me about it, because it looks like a mortgage type shirt.
Oh, this is from Mortgage Con. And I mean, normally we record on Wednesdays?
Yeah.
But today we had to do a special edition and record on a Friday. And I was like, you know what? Casual Friday it is. Let's get a little spicy and, wear something that kind of stands out.
Do you know who Mickey Rourke is?
That sounds so familiar. Was he a gangster?
He was a famous actor, and he was like he was like one of those every girl wanted type of guys, like Fabio type. And he just kept wanting to look younger and stay younger, and so he kept having reconstructive surgery. And then as he's got older in the films, his face looked a little off. You know, a little filled, kind of just like unproportional.
Yeah.
I'll probably pop up a picture on, I'm showing. But like, look, I'm not trying to make fun of him. I'm just saying, I think aging is natural, and
Yeah.
I just think that everybody should just age naturally.
Everybody should just do it.
Yeah, I mean, anything you can control by diet, exercise, I totally understand.
Yep.
Because it's a health type of thing.
Yeah.
Anything vanity, I just don't understand.
No, I don't either. And I think that that's the thing. It's why a lot of people actually get stuck on like social media stuff sometimes. Like, no, I can't post myself because they have these pictures, maybe in their profile of like 5-10 years ago. And they're like, I don't want to show that I don't look like that.
And it was filtered back then, probably.
Probably a little airbrushing, as they'd call it then. But now it's like, honestly, my clients are going to meet me. They'll see me in my videos. Why not? Doesn't matter. Like, if I age, whatever.
Yeah. And that might be a guy thing too.
It probably
So,
is.
yeah,
We get to, we've touched on it before on previous ones, but like guys get to be distinguished when they have grades. Ooh, yes,
true.
I'm distinguished. I got a few coming in, but my wife's like, no, this is terrible. I must revert to no grades.
Yeah, no, Jessica's going through that right now. She's like, I'm getting grays. Don't you see all these grays? And I'm like, no, I don't even see him. I mean, she's got blonde hair. So for me, and I'm slightly colorblind, it's hard for me to see anyways. Like, I'm just like, I actually don't see the need to spend $150. It looks fantastic.
It looks great.
Yeah.
Everything's perfect.
Yeah. But that's probably just, I think women do that for other women, not for men. Like, most of the time that she's putting makeup on and going out and stuff, it's not to impress me. She's already got me.
Yeah, exactly. She's already won you over.
So, it's usually because women compete with other women. I think men compete with other men, but in different ways. We don't do it like looks wise or anything like that.
Right.
It's more like shoe size and.
I'm
just kidding. Anyways, no, just kidding. But anyways, this is like 5-10 minutes into it. We haven't even talked about real estate or mortgages.
That's fine. It's not what this is always about. I mean, it's only loans to listings, but it's not just loans to listings.
Yeah, I did have something come across. So we had a listing appointment yesterday, and it went really well.
Yeah.
We had the paperwork signed right there.
Perfect.
It was up in Leesburg, so pretty far away. It's going to go live probably next Friday. But we got to talk with the people because they had lived there for the last 10 years, and they knew a lot of people on the block. And when I was going through the comps, I was like, this house sold for this amount. And they were like, oh, this is so-and-so's house. Yeah, she sold this. And, they were going through
it.
And so it was kind of interesting because they were telling me, they're like, this lady actually sold this house, and she went to go buy another house. And on closing day or the day before, she wired the money over to the title company. And on the way there, got a call from the title company, and they were asking when they're going to wire the money.
Uh-oh.
And they're like, we wired it yesterday. And so they sent the receipt, sent the proof and everything. It wasn't the right email. Yeah. So they showed they went and looked at the emails and the pieces of paper and stuff, and they were slightly different. And one of them said, always call while you're wiring the funds,
Mm-hmm.
so you could talk to the title company as you're.
Yes.
The other one did not say that. And she remembered reading that the first time and calling the title company when she was there at the bank the first time for their earnest money.
Mm-hmm.
So she did it the first time and she called the title company. The second time, you're aloof, you're not thinking about it. It went smooth the first time. It's, you're closing, you're
Yeah.
just probably happy. You're just, you're not even thinking about it.
Right.
And it came from very similar email, very similar type of print on wire instructions. They got scammed, $38,000. So, and that was like, they were telling me that happened, obviously their house closed, I think 6-7 months ago. They never did recoup the money from my understanding, because they can't track a lot of those wire transfers after the fact. And if they do, a lot of times it goes into these accounts that, that the feds can't go after afterwards or something.
Right. Yeah, it just gets moved around from there. And then
right.
Boom, 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 boom.
So anyways, I thought that was a good lesson because we all get a little comfortable. And what brought that up is we always have, part of our paperwork is LPT has us have our clients sign a wire thing that says that we do not take wire transfers. Only the title company does. Yep. You need to make sure you're talking with the title company. Right. And if you get an email from us, don't ever send us
nothing.
Yeah, send us nothing because we will never request a wire transfer. We'll never request money. And so we have them sign off on that. And I'm very explicit because I'm like,
I want nothing
to do with this. I don't want any of your money. The title company will pay my brokerage. My brokerage will pay me.
Yep.
Because I just want it to be very clear, and I want them to take it seriously too. And I tell them, even when you get a call from the title, or even when you get an email from the title company for like any sort of money or anything like that, call, confirm, talk with them on the phone, confirm the numbers, all that stuff, because it's a serious game.
It's so crazy, and there's so much money at stake too.
Right.
And then it's hard when people don't get the money back, and then it's like, now you can't close the house because it's like, I always tell people, title is master of the money. It doesn't matter if it is they're paying, the agents. Doesn't matter if they're taking care of like paying taxes. They'll take care of all of it. Even if it's like a $14 payoff on a credit card to help you qualify, they will take care of that.
Right.
You do nothing. Just send them what they request, but confirm with them to make sure.
Yeah. Yeah, it is true. And that's why we hire the title company for those type of things. And, they're called the closing agents. So they're in charge of balancing everything.
Yep.
They get the CD in from the lender, and then they're balancing with the other brokerages and and whoever, everything.
Yeah.
To make sure everything's proper.
To make everything matches. Yep.
So they huge benefit. But it's funny because it's not funny, but sorry. I hate saying it's funny, but like we were there, and then of course your phone always listens to you, So when I get home, I'm scrolling through Facebook, and one of the ads or one of the things I see was from a local news organization that had a story from 2 weeks ago that somebody transferred a wire fraud, and it was a wire fraud thing. And I was like, okay, so the algorithm picked up on the fact that I had been talking about that. But it just goes to show there's a lot of this stuff happening. We don't hear about it as frequently as we probably should.
Right.
But it's happening nonstop. I mean, it happened to these people up in Leesburg 6 months ago. It's happening to this young couple, on the news a few weeks ago. And it's a serious thing. And people are getting scammed, and most of the time that type of money you can't get back. So it's very few times you can get it back. So
you agreed to send this. There's so many steps on like the sending the wire. Are you sure? Confirm. Even like I know when I wire money, it's like there's a lot of scams out there. Make sure you're absolutely sure about this. Click this box to accept every time that you're accepting this responsibility of sending it. So even like the bank side of like sending your wires, they take care of that too.
Yeah, and actually, this is kind of a tangent, but it kind of has to do with that too. We have good friends at the church that he got scammed by a bank account fraud. Like they were just like, I can't remember exactly the story, but somebody calls him up, and he ends up somehow divulging the bank account information, right before Christmas. They steal all their savings and everything. Now here's the deal with a lot of that stuff and what he found out too, because it was through like a payment type of thing. If he would have paid with a credit card, it would have been insured.
Mm-hmm.
But the way that it works with that debit card and whatnot, none of that money was insured. I thought the FDIC automatically insured that money from that type of fraud and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But when it's done a certain way and you willfully kind of give that information up, it's not covered. So they lost all their, $25,000 worth of savings or whatever. Yeah. And so now, I mean, it gets me thinking too, because we do a lot of our payments and stuff with our debit card, and I'm just like, maybe I should just start charging everything on a credit card.
Yeah.
One payment to the credit card at the end of the month to pay it off.
Yep.
But there just seems to be some measures in place or some safety measures in place using a credit card.
Right, because I think it creates like a mini loan in a way when it's on a credit card. If you pay it off, then you don't have any installments, but like that's probably part of it too. Why it's more protected on the credit card. Plus, there's ways to get it overturned from the credit card versus your debit card.
That kind of makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Like they're in more control of the money it coming in and then it going out.
Yep, you can dispute it and easier and do it that way. The other side of it too is that if you pick the right credit cards, you could point hack a little bit, get yourself some hotel stays are free, or flights and
flights, yeah. Rewards,
mm-hmm.
points back. It's a good point. We used to do that, and then we got a little out of control on our credit card, so we stopped doing that. I mean, this was years ago when we used to do Alaska Airlines. But it was nice because at least once a year we could get basically free flights. Most places, you go a little further, you're not going to do it, but it depends how much you're spending and how much you're paying off too.
Yeah.
I'm curious if they can hear this stuff out there.
I don't know. I guess we'll find out. They must be just reconstructing this building. I don't know what's going on out there, but
it sounds like a weed eater. It sounds like a weed eater to me.
Okay, yeah, something
like that, or blowing something. It's pretty loud from here, but I bet you it's not quite as loud on the.
Yeah. Both these, the nice thing about technology now is it picks up the nice sound for these mics. True. And then sends it there, so we're good.
True. And I already sound funny because I got some major allergies going on here.
Did you get like the pollen or?
Yeah, I think so. Like if you look at my car, it's covered in like yellow stuff. I'm like, this looks like I haven't washed it in like 6 months, which I haven't. But yeah. But it rains, so it looks like I get washed every now and then.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's good wash. Rinsed off at least.
I need a good rain. We got some rain the other day, a couple days ago. So, bless you. You got some allergies going on?
Apparently, they transferred over. I just felt the effects of it. No, typically my allergies aren't pollen. I get dust and feathers. Hopefully, there's no birds in here. But
up in Idaho, I used to get really bad allergies, and then we moved down here, and I wasn't getting them nearly as bad. But it seems like in the spring now, there's certain times that it does start to hit me. I don't know what it was about when the first couple of years I moved down here where it just didn't affect me, like my allergies. But the last few years, they've kind of come back. And I don't get why Idaho is so bad. Like with Idaho, I'd get them so bad that it would like lay me out. I would sneeze all day. I couldn't even function hardly, for like the entire day. It was like, it was so bad.
This is how I go.
Yeah. And like right now my eyes are watering, but back in Idaho, my eyes would just be like glazed over. People would look at me like, what's wrong with you?
I'm not hanging out with Bob Marley, I promise.
Yeah, it's allergies. I mean, it could have been the other stuff too. Could have been the grass we're in Idaho, so it's not legal there. Not legal at all. Not medicinal. Not anything. Oh. They are serious, and it's serious crimes when you get busted with it. It's like, I don't understand, because I don't have a problem with it really. Actually, I prefer it to be legal over alcohol. However, it's easier to hide. You can't really so there's issues with everything. But
right.
But Idaho, it's bad because they can really criminalize, and it can create quite the issue with somebody's history and stuff.
Yeah.
Like misdemeanor turning into felonies and stuff. And so I'm not a big that was like, I love Reagan, but his war on drugs, and then his Well, he did a lot of things I don't agree with, but like his privatization of jails.
Mm.
Like, so now public, or I mean private entities own jails, and they have to have like a certain capacity, 70-80%. Well, if you're not keeping that capacity, the state has to pay it anyways, but the state needs that federal backing to come back, and state backing too.
Yeah.
And so they need to keep it full. So then they start passing laws, to
Just
keep
to
it
put
full.
people in there.
That's what happened in the 80s, So that's why people are like, oh, like the inner city, the black. Yeah, no, there was some truth to that, like, because, and it's not, I don't think they did it purposely towards black people. It's just they happen to be in those neighborhoods and those areas more predominantly, and it happened in the white neighborhoods too, like that. But those type of neighborhoods, that's what happened, and when you're struggling for stuff, and then you steal a box of crackers or something, and then you go to jail for it, and then it's really criminalized because you've already had bad stuff on your record. Now you're spending 3 months in jail for a box of crackers. So anyways, I don't mean to like demonize Reagan, because actually I'll enjoy a lot of things he did, and his speeches are so fantastic. Like, he has the best speeches. You ever listen to Reagan's speeches?
Not lately. It hasn't hit my podcast list on Reagan speeches.
I would say the presidents that were actors have the best speeches. JFK, Nixon, Reagan, Trump.
Yeah.
Like, and you don't have to even like these people. It's just that when you listen to them, their speeches are so good. I mean, Obama had really good speeches too.
Yeah.
He was a very, charismatic person too.
Yeah.
But he wasn't an actor, so he doesn't fit into that role. But like the actors that became presidents have the best speeches.
Because they probably went through like speech training and
They probably did, yeah.
all that.
Yeah. And I think they're somewhat, I'd like to think they were more outsiders. I know JFK was a bit of an outsider, and that's why he got killed. Trump's a bit of an outsider. That's why he might get killed. Hopefully he doesn't, in my opinion. But Nixon, I mean, he got set up. So the Watergate was a whole setup. I know I'm a conspiracy theorist, okay? We've already gone over this, but it was a setup. He was the most popular president in history, okay? And they literally, something like that was far less than what's been going on like lately with spying on each other's everything and Russiagate and all that stuff. Something far less, they got him, the most popular president ever, out of office, and they put, what, Ford in there or something? I think they put Ford in there. I can't remember, but yeah. And he was a retired FBI director. Nobody even liked the guy.
He knew what he was doing. He's like, I'll just do this, and then bug the room. And then use all my previous training to get me in office.
Yeah, it's a good thing we're not monetizing this thing, because we'd get demonetized right now.
That's it.
Sorry, YouTube.
YouTube's like.
Anyways, this is about the time that our podcast just goes straight from loans to listings to conspiracies.
Yeah.
So.
But I do think, though, people who follow a lot of conspiracies, they need loans too. So
yeah, no, absolutely.
Yeah.
I don't even think they're conspiracies anymore. I just think we all have different tales, and some of them are right, some of them are wrong. But I like to investigate everything. I just think, hey, you know what? There could be some truth to this. So why not investigate?
Yeah, might as well.
And if you investigate and there's nothing wrong with it, then what?
Yeah, it was fine.
Then we figured it out.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then solved.
Yeah. But then again, if you keep trying to tell me to investigate the same thing over and over, and it's like, now it's like already proven to be false, I'm like, okay, stop it.
Enough of that. Yeah. Enough of that.
Yeah. So anyways, yeah. What's going on with the real estate?
I think that it's about to turn the corner to like just really get going. A lot of times I've been talking to people, like, properties are still sitting, but you still see some new ones popping up. So I see a little bit of like people kind of playing it back and forth. They're like, hey, I'm looking at 2 similar properties. Do I go after the one to try and get incentives that's been listed for 6 months? Or do I go for this other one that's newly listed and kind of see if there's any angle there, because everyone's still competing in the same space?
Yeah. I would say you're right. It is kind of one of those things where it's like people are interested in the new listings whenever they go live. But they're also like, okay, this one's been on 60, 70 days. They might be interested in making, or negotiating a deal. So, yes. So I feel like those are the two options. Like the middle of the road, 30 days, people are like, yeah.
There's nothing there for me.
Right.
I either want the new hotness or the one that'll do the most dealing.
Yeah. Yeah. We actually have a closing that was supposed to happen today.
Supposed to happen last week too.
It was supposed to happen last week too. Here's the thing about some deals, and this one actually wasn't even really listed. We were going to list it, but then the ex-wife decided, or they kind of wanted to beforehand, but she decided to buy it, and it's been tough. It hasn't been easy to get them approved and then keep everything going, and they have things in each other's names that have been an issue.
It's been an issue, but really, when you look at the whole picture, they did a lot right to set themselves up for success in and all that. So we can't fault them for that, but it's just been a little frustrating that you try to find a solution and then you uncover it and you're like, oh, we need a new solution. But the main thing is that we have solutions.
We do.
Instead of just being like,
yeah,
game over.
Yeah.
No, there's a solution to be found. We'll find it.
Yeah, and the thing about this one too, and I get that we wanted to close a week ago and now we're looking at probably 10, 11 days of extension.
Yeah.
It's not like we really have a time frame. Like they want to get it done. So whatever happens, our time frame is kind of with the loan and it's costing them a little bit of money to push it off.
Right.
But it's an option. Because at least with this, we're like, okay, this issue came up. How do we solve it? Then we solve it, And I mean, there's kind of been part of it was my fault in the beginning, like with this roofing thing, because I meant to take care of this ahead of time, and I forgot all about it. So in Florida, if the roof's older than 20 years, you're just gonna have to replace it. Yeah. They will not insure on it.
No.
The roof, even if it's in decent condition, they won't insure on it. So we ran into that where it was 21 years old and they wouldn't insure on it. So he's having to replace it and whatnot. And then when you replace a roof, there's a few things in the works with that. So if you get it done afterwards, which is fine, you can't have an open claim or anything. He had an open claim from the hurricane. And so it actually had to be inspected and everything. And through the county, the claim closed. Otherwise, title will not close it because it's their liability.
Right. That's what they do.
Yeah.
Title, you make sure there's no
title.
issues. Yeah, again.
Even though I was mad at you yesterday.
We're good today, though.
It was part of the reason is when people explain things to me, they don't think it's important to say the specifics. So when I relay that information that this is the problem, and then it's not actually the problem. So I was mad at title because I was told something from somebody else that title said this, and then it turned out that title just said all we had to do was it had to be inspected by the city. So anyways, it's fine. It's fine. It's just we need to be specific with what's going on, and then we need to know how to handle things. So this one, slightly my fault, but not a big deal because I think it needed to go this way anyways. Reason being is he just got paid on his claim this week.
Oh,
so,
perfect. It all works out.
Yeah. So it was one of those things where it's like, wow, okay, so the claim, and I didn't find this out till yesterday, but the claim didn't actually even really he tried to do it a few months ago, or it's been like 3, 4, 5 months worth of getting it done, and then you all of a sudden get paid on it. And so it is one of those things where it's like sometimes they're just supposed to work out this way.
Yep. Everything happens for a reason.
Yeah. And honestly, they weren't sure they were going to get done. So they're actually super happy with us. Stuff comes up, but we give them answers and they're okay with it.
Yeah.
It's wonderful when it works out that way. When people are understanding that something comes up and then they're still happy that, hey, you're able to solve it. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yep.
So
100%.
Yeah. So I'm actually pretty proud of that one. We should be getting that close on Tuesday.
Good work.
Yeah. Good work to you.
Yeah.
I think it's a good note. I mean, we end on a
Positive win.
Positive win, right?
Perfect.
Okay, you have a wonderful day. All
You
right.
too. See you next
Catch
one.
you guys next time.
See ya.